So this is gonna sound a little bit weird, but it's really good. My name is Erin Rifkin. I am a general manager in the developer relations team at Microsoft. Today I'm gonna cook fried chicken and coleslaw. I'm from the South, so I felt like it was important to do a Southern style recipe. The first thing I'm gonna do is make the coleslaw. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the carrots into the coleslaw and the green pepper. You can use as much green pepper as you like. If you're not a huge green pepper fan, I would try to add at least a half of one, but add as much as you like. And then a tablespoon of onion. Generally, you just want to get this nice and mixed up. If you need to use salad tongs, you can to make that happen, or a bigger bowl. And the next thing you need to do is make the actual sauce. I've gone ahead and put the mustard and the mayonnaise into this Tupperware. And then I'm going to mix in sugar, apple cider vinegar, and this is a mix of white pepper, kosher salt, and celery seed. You can use ground celery seed or whole celery seed. And I'm gonna mix this up. And now that we have this mixed up, we can start putting it into the actual cabbage and vegetable mixture up to our liking. Growing up, I really did not cook. My mom and my sister did a ton of cooking, and it wasn't really something that I did. Even though, as an adult and living out on your own, you kind of have to figure it out after a while. So I, of course, started to cook, and I've always ate really healthy, so I've tried to try new and different things. And so it's been, kind of fun and inspiring to do that and to come up with a new menu every single week. Being in the South, having fried chicken, coleslaw, or mac and cheese, one of those is always a staple in every meal, it feels like, especially anything that has mayonnaise in it. This is just really a memory from my childhood. My mom used to make this coleslaw all the time growing up, still does today for big family gatherings. And my family, my stepsister, younger stepsister, her mother makes fried chicken for us and used to do it all the time. And so just, it really reminds me of home, even though I'm, 4,000 miles away, I get to have a little taste of home here in Seattle. So now that I'm done with the coleslaw, I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator. It's usually good if you can refrigerate for 3 to 4 hours, so that it can really meld all of the flavors together before you go and eat it. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to bread and make the fried chicken. So this is gonna sound a little bit weird, but it's really good. So this is a mix of panko and breadcrumbs, and I'm going to mix in powdered sugar. I know that sounds weird, but it's really good. And then in here I have a mixture of paprika, sea salt, celery seed, and garlic powder. Mix all of this together so that I have my dry mixture. So the key to fried chicken is that you need to have a wet mixture and a dry mixture. So I'm going to crack 2 eggs in here for my wet. So you want to whip up the eggs pretty good. And then the other trick to this fried chicken is that you want to be able to put it in pickle juice to let it brine for at least 30 minutes to an hour before you cook it. The trick here is just to go wet and then dry. If you are going to fry this, I recommend you do a double dip, so wet, dry, wet, dry. I'm going to dip it in my wet mixture, and then I'm going to dip it into my dry mixture. Working at Microsoft in developer relations has been a really amazing journey. One of the things that's really neat about it is that Microsoft and in developer relations, we've really reinvented advocacy for customers. Not just understanding what they need, but meeting them within their own communities and making sure they have the content they need to be successful. And so being a leader at Microsoft means that we really have to be able to create an amazing culture. We have to think about the Microsoft values and what they mean to us and how we live those every day. It's been personally fun and challenging and amazing to watch the transformation at the company. The next thing I need to do is air fry the chicken. So the chicken typically takes 6 minutes on each side at 400. I'm going to spray both sides of the chicken with some oil just to make sure that they do not stick and they'll get a nice even brown. I will set this in here. And then I'm going to lightly spray it again and then put the air fryer back in and start the cook time. Okay, so I'm gonna butter the buns so we can toast them for the sandwiches. I'm a huge fan of butter, so I try not to skimp here. It's totally up to you. As far as I'm concerned, it's a healthy fat. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm going to put them face down in the pan and let them toast up. So once the chicken is done in the air fryer, I just want to double check that the internal temperature is 165 degrees. I'm going to use my thermometer and just double check. Yep, we are good. And then I'm going to set it here and I'm going to grab my buns. You can see that they've been nice and they plumped up because I actually put them in that pickle juice for 30 minutes to an hour beforehand, so it actually gets it nice and big for your sandwich. I also mentor people across all of Microsoft. There's so many pieces of advice I could give a woman trying to break into tech, but I think never be held down by the environment around you. Always strive for new things, ask for what you want. Don't be afraid to do that. I know it seems hard and culturally not everybody has grown up in a way that it feels comfortable to go and do that. I think you are your own cheerleader and your best support. And so if you can put yourself out there and try and ask for what you want and what you think you deserve, I think more often than not, you'll find that you're going to get it. And so I think that would be my biggest piece of advice. We are going to dish up our sides. Put some of this Southern coleslaw. My mom's homemade recipe, I love it. And then we will put some mac and cheese, fresh out of the oven. And I think my girlfriend Morgan's gonna come in here and do a taste test with me. We've got our nice chicken sandwich right here. Looks excellent. Well, that's it for this episode of Home Cooked. Check out MicrosoftLife.com for more episodes.